The repeater has all kinds of creative possibilities. In this tutorial, I want to talk about creating grid arrays using the repeater. And here's some examples. Something really cool like this, or these dots. And then here's another grid. Now let's see how these are made. I'm going to create a new comp here. I get 3 seconds. 2 seconds is fine. And then I'm going to just double click on the ellipse tool. That'll create a new shape layer with the ellipse in place. I want the ellipse to be inside a group, so I'm going to go ahead and make the group and drag the ellipse inside the group. And then open up the ellipse. I can get rid of the stroke and turn on the fill. I want it to be a little circle, so I'm going to unlink size and make this 50 by 50. Close up the group. Click on the word contents. I want to add the repeater, but I want the repeater to go below the group because the repeaters always affect everything that's above them. Now I'm going to open this up. I'm going to start with 0 copies and make a keyframe. I'm going to go over to 15 frames and I'll change this to 5 copies. So I have this coming out like this. Then I'm going into the transform for repeater 1, and I'll start out with my position at 0, 0, put a keyframe, and then I'm going to move over to my 15 frames and pull this out. Now I want it to look like it's coming from the center instead of coming from the left and moving right. I'm going to set the offset to -2 and then move my first keyframe for the position in until it looks like they're coming from the center. So let's go in a little bit more, maybe over there, like that. Pull these out a little bit. I'm going to select them all, right click and do an easy ease on everything. So it goes like this, boom. Okay, then I'm going to close this up, click on the word contents and add another repeater. I'm just clicking on the word contents so that my next repeater goes below. I'm going to start out here where, now these have just all come out, and I'm going to make it 5 copies. I'll open up the transform for repeater 2 and I will start my position at 0, 0 and add a keyframe. It goes out like this. Then I'll go out another, say 15, 20 frames. I'll go out, I guess I'll go out to here. And then I will lower it down. And then use the offset to pull it up to the center, somewhere like that. So it comes out. Boom. Make these easy ease. Maybe I'll pull that one out so it's a little bit slower. Now we can do the same thing. I'll name this one dots. Okay, now let's do the same thing but with the little line. So I'm going to start with a rectangle and I'll just click out here and drag my rectangle. That creates a new shape layer with the rectangle. And I'll open this up. Again, I'll get rid of the stroke and fill the rectangle. And I might want to make it a little bit smaller. I'm going to uncheck this, make this a little bit shorter, and this one a little bit more narrow, something like that. Maybe a little bit shorter, like that. I'll go ahead and link that, close this up, make my group, click on the word contents, make my group, put the rectangle in the group, and then I'll add my first repeater. I want the repeater to be outside the group, so that's why it's a good idea to click on the word contents first, and then it goes outside the group. And then with this repeater, again, I'm just going to kind of repeat what I did before. I'll start out with 0, add a keyframe, move out to 15 or 20. Let me turn off the dots here. And then make this like, I think I'll make it 7. Open up the transform for repeater 1. Start at the beginning, position 0, 0. Keyframe. And then come out here and move it out. Something like that. And then I want it to come out from the center, so I'll move this first one in and change my offset to -2. Let's see how that works. Boom. Okay, so that's not exactly where I want it, so let's make this -3, see how that works. Okay, so that works pretty well. I think these could line up maybe. Okay. And then out here, I'll close this up, click on the word contents to add my second repeater. This will also be 7. Open up the transform for repeater 2. Start at 0. And I want this to be at 20. 20. Then I'll come out 20, come out to 20, and close these guys up. And then I'll go down on the Y, drag the Y down, and then minus the offset, pull the offset so it's up to the middle. I'll change this to just 5. Okay, so we've got this. Boom, boom. I'm going to add a third repeater, so I'll click on the word content, repeater, open up. Let's make this 5 copies. Open up the transform for repeater 3. We're going to make the position 0, and we're going to rotate it 90 degrees. Now let's see what happens. There you go. Now you can add even more interest by scaling it. So I'm going to put a keyframe for scale. Go to the end of my composition here and scale it out. I'll have the start opacity reduced, which will give it more of a sense of depth. And again, all of these should be easy ease.